What's up, my fellow weirdos? Welcome to the Weird Girl Findings. This is Naomi
and Syria,
your neighborhood weirdos. Welcome back to the Weird Girl Findings. This is Naomi
and Syria.
This is a safe place for weirdos who obsessively love mystery.
Yeah.
And if you're one of those, just subscribe, like, comment, tell us what you're into. We would love that.
Yes. We discuss like a lot of different topics. As we say, we go on tangents. And today we're going to be talking about conservatorships or guardianships or those celebrity.
Basically, someone's stealing celebrities' money and saying that they're crazy and not getting them any help, but just letting them be without any treatment to get better so they can actually be independent.
Yeah, so
is that it? Yeah, that's it.
So today we're just gonna go through some of the celebrities that have been basically taken advantage of, their timelines, and just give our thoughts on the situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not like legal experts or anything like that. We just want to share our thoughts because with all the news about Wendy Williams and free Britney, free Wendy,
Bam,
there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. We just want to talk about it.
Like we just need to talk about it with fellow weirdos. Like it has to come out.
Yeah.
So we found a little things. We researched, and you already have my thoughts on conservatorship. I think just a little bit, but I guess let's dive into Britney Spears.
Yeah, I mean that's a good place to start. It like she is like the one that brought it to the limelight. Like people weren't thinking about this until the Free Britney movement. There's a lot of creators and stuff like that started really telling her story, and I just think it's crazy.
It's insane, and especially how she acts now. And Instagram. Now, I haven't been on Instagram in a very long time, but I can 10 toes down, I'm confident that she's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Dancing.
So gracefully carry, you bring your light and shine like more.
The camera doing the exact same moves, not really having any context to anything. It's giving highly unstable and signs of severe mental issues.
Well, I mean, it's sad. So let's just start everyone knows Britney. In the early 2000s, she was the biggest pop star ever.
Oh, baby.
She was 16. She broken, she was on that Mickey Mouse Club and stuff like that. I love Britney Spears. Did you used to love Britney Spears?
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time, and then it's just wow, she grew up. And now she's this pop star. What?
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
It was so crazy. I mean, she's just really an inspiration for a lot of pop stars. She could dance,
I also find it a little bit weird that they wanted to sexualize a teenager.
Yes.
And she at first could really sing, but since they forced her to sing in this overly sexual way, it messed up her voice. Nobody could really hear her vocals because it was like kitty purrs and stuff like that. It was just
when she was a kid, she was singing
Ain't nobody crying, ain't nobody worrying now.
And then, oh baby, baby,
that could really mess up your vocals if you consistently do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just find that like that's weird that someone would be like, yeah, you have to wear this and that, and she just wanted to sing, have a singing career, and like they just heavily exploited her, sexually exploited her.
And you know, and it's weird because there's some things like these little things where it's like there was a picture of her, like she did the cover and she had panties and a t-shirt on, she's on the phone and everything, and they were like, oh, you guys are trying to sexualize her and try to make that, but it's like, but that is kind of sexual
That
in
is.
itself. Like, why is she 17 on a magazine with panties on? That's
weird.
not like we're trying to sexualize her. That's them sexualizing her because she shouldn't have taken a picture like that. It's not her fault. It's her team's fault for allowing that to happen.
Definitely.
And that kind of shows that they've kind of been controlling her all along. I mean, obviously,
They have.
That's kind of how child stars are, though. They kind of get just
Amanda Bynes, look at her. She's completely
put
like
a pin in that.
traumatized.
Put a pin in that because we are going to be discussing her timeline.
Let's focus on Britney.
But okay, so we know she was a pop star. She dated another huge pop star, Justin Timberlake, and there's all that stuff. If you read her book, you know all about that. However, you know, she ended up getting married and blah, blah, blah. But in around 2007, 2008, that's when she started looking a little, like things started going a little bad for her.
Rough.
Like there was that time where she like shaved her head.
And didn't you say she was...
Yeah, she was like attacked. She was hitting a car with an umbrella, and it was like, okay, so I've heard that maybe she shaved her head because she had to get drug tested, and it was a hair test, and she shaved it off. I don't know if that's true, but have you heard that?
I've heard that, but you never know. She could have had like a severe episode.
Yeah.
Like I legitimately believe that she has severe mental issues that they tried to sweep under the rug per se. Like there's no way. It seems like it's her mind is constantly going back to the past where she was doing few specific dance moves.
Yeah.
There's no context, and then like even her messages are kind of weird and off kilter. Like it just it's concerning, but people wanted her off the conservatorship, which I believe that was a good idea, but they should have also got her care, like mental care.
Well, I mean, let's say, okay, so all of this is happening, and in 2008 her conservatorship was established by her father, Jamie, who he basically got control over her finances and her personal life and her performances and what she gets to do. And that to me is weird because it's like if she really had this mental issue, because they had to do a 5150 hold, and if you don't know what a 5150 hold is, it's like basically like a mental request warrant. If someone is they're having a mental episode, you can call the police and request that, and they will hold them for like 72 hours or something like that. And basically that's what they did, which he allowed him to take the papers to the court and get her under this conservatorship. But it's kind of like, why, with all the money she has, why wouldn't you just put her in a facility, have therapists, and just talk to her? Why do you need to have control over her finances?
Because they're trying to siphon it from her bank, like what she's worked so hard for, and they're neglecting the main reason why she's under conservatorship. She's unstable, so get her actual help instead of just restricting her from everything and anything. Why isn't she being checked in?
It's weird.
To a mental health facility. I don't get it. Like, you guys just want to control her, and then you say like for while she was under conservatorship, she was still working.
Yeah, okay, so they put her under the conservatorship, and she was still working. I mean, like in she was still going on tours, and in December of 2013, she actually started her Vegas residency, which lasted until like 2009. When was it? It was like 2019 or something. Yeah. So she was doing that from 2013. She didn't even really want to do it. And they basically controlled her into doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if she really has a mental problem where she can't control what to do with her money or what to do, then why are you forcing her to perform?
Right.
She didn't want, that means it's not fair that someone can have control over someone's money, yet they have control over their money, but they're also controlling how they make money. So it's like, I get the money. If you do Vegas residency and you get paid, then I'm gonna get paid. So I'm gonna force you to do it.
Right.
That doesn't seem fair. Shouldn't be allowed.
It shouldn't be, but why are they allowing it? Do the judges get a cut? Like, who's benefiting from this?
Yeah.
And then there was in 2020 when we had that stay from home adventure
Staycation.
There's the Free Britney movement.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, free her, she's like being restricted under this conservatorship.
Yeah.
But they weren't talking about solutions. They're just like, free her, but then she's been restricted under this for so long, not having any type of treatment, I don't think, or good treatment. And they're just saying, free her? Like, what's the plan afterwards?
Yeah. So, I mean, so in 2021, you know, everyone, like, she went up to the court and it was leaked and you can hear her speaking. And I will say she did kind of sound sane, or she sounded well. She sounded very clear, and she was talking about how she can't control. She couldn't even control what birth control she was on.
That's crazy.
And then they were giving her lithium.
Yeah, I heard that they were giving her lithium. Like, what is going on?
So she started, but so like all the tea pages and stuff, they were spilling the tea. So when she finally came out and spoke, everybody was just like, wow, this is crazy. So more people even heard about it. And the judge actually terminated her conservatorship in November of 2021, which allowed her to be free.
Yeah. But I feel like she should have some type of, if it's not conservatorships, make sure she's getting the treatment she needs to be better, because her broadcasting these repetitive dances on the internet, turning her comments off and saying a long spiel about nothing that makes sense is not proactive. And it doesn't make her feel better. It's like, you know, something is wrong.
There needs to be some sort of like intervention, like someone else coming in and seeing like what, like, you know, I mean, the dancing is fine. I mean, she's like doing her moves, having fun and stuff, but then some of the stuff she posts is just like, it's just weird. I mean, it's just like,
it's really weird.
Like,
and why she has actual fans out there that want to engage, but they can't because she turned off the comments, so they could only like it. So for them to continue to check up on her, they have to like it so it comes up on their feed. And it's just like, are you literally okay?
I mean, I don't know. I love Britney, and I'm happy that she's free and that people aren't controlling her, and she doesn't have to perform and do it, you know. But I mean, it's just it is odd seeing her just dressed in kind of like not the best clothing. Her makeup looks like it's like 2 days old, but it's like every video. How is every video the eyeliner?
Oh, there's some conspiracies about like, oh, it's AI and her sister's actually doing all this, and we don't know where Britney's at, but we can't verify that. Or she's a clone.
And then, but I will say, the way she spoke in the court, where she's talking to the judge, is sometimes sounds a little different than the way she's like, "Hi, I'm Britney, and today I'm gonna be, I just love you so much," and I'm like, that kind of doesn't even sound like the same person. Or when the videos where she's talking to her son, like.
It sounds just, something ain't right, but will we ever know? I hope we do so we can get her
Yeah.
some help. Something.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
she's-
I kind of hope that like she can mend her relationship with her sons. I think like her sons, one of the sons, I think he said he wanted to speak to his mom again and stuff like that. People think that Kevin kind of like turned them against like her, but now that they're old enough to, I know a lot of people say her sons are rude and wrong and she doesn't need them, but moms care about their kids.
Exactly.
So it's weird to say like her kids are assholes or something like that because of things they did when they were teenagers. Like they're old enough now that they can get away from K-Fed. Maybe they can make the decision to actually speak speak to her on their own, personally and private. And I still have hope for the relationship.
I hope it mends.
And maybe they can help her.
Yeah,
I don't know.
something. Because she needs it. I just feel like she's sad or she feels trapped in this cycle. It's odd.
Yeah, it's like childlike.
Yeah.
But I feel like that kind of happens with a lot of child stars. Like, what about like Michael?
Yeah, he just what was his mansion called?
Neverland Ranch.
Neverland Ranch.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like.
And he liked to be around kids. And I don't know the story. I don't know if what happened between him and those kids, but it just seems like he wanted to go back to a childhood he never had.
Yeah.
And you know the past of Michael Jackson, like his childhood was kind of rough.
Yeah, it was rough, and he was forced to work and to do this as a kid. And I just feel like a lot of these child stars, they really don't have a choice. When you think about it, when they're so young. Now, some dudes, granted, some would be like, "Oh, I want to be a comedian," or "I want to be an actor," and they're old enough. But like some people, when they're so young, they're kind of forced into it.
Right.
And I mean, with Amanda Bynes, she was on All That. She was like 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think she wanted to be a comedian. She was already like doing comedy shows or something like that.
My parents are always bugging me to slow down. Take it easy. Take a breather. Hang loose. Chill out. Take a break. Heck, why would I want to take a break at home? That's what I go to school for.
10 years old, which it's like she could have said, "Hey, I want to be a comedian," and her parents do it. But at the same time, do you really need to start driving across the country and having her perform at bars and stuff at 10 years old? That's kind of
weird.
That is kind of weird. It's like, I understand supporting your child's dream, but it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like you're selling them, especially if they get to Nickelodeon, you're selling them to a network.
I mean, kind of exploiting your child for monetary gain. That's exactly what they're doing. Yeah, they're supporting their child, but they know they're going to get compensation afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sick.
And then even if they want to be, I want to be an actor, they don't know what all comes in Hollywood or
Their
what fame
prefrontal
is.
cortex isn't fully developed. They can't really make those long-term decisions at 8 or 10.
Yeah, like they want to be a doctor. Are you going to put them in med school at 8 years old?
Right? Like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's like, why is Hollywood and stuff, why is that the one place where if someone says, "I want to be an actor," it's okay to make them start working long hours? Like they work like 16-hour days and stuff like that.
Where's their childhood? Like, can't they just be a child instead of working excessively to entertain others? It sounds like entertainment slavery.
Yeah. Well, Amanda, I loved Amanda Bynes.
Me too.
I
loved
thought
it.
she was so funny, and I loved the Amanda Show. And one of my favorite movies of all time is She's the Man. I watched that movie all the time. Like, I just
every time it came on TV, I watched it.
I've watched it recently. Like, I know every word to that movie. So it's just kind of crazy to see her now. Yeah. You know,
she's not there, guys. She's gone. People are like, when's Amanda gonna be back to herself? You mean the self where she was traumatized?
Yeah.
when she was working excessively as a teenager, like it just
Yeah.
changed her brain chemistry because of all the amount of trauma that she had to endure being essayed and all that kind of stuff. It's like she's gone.
I mean, there's been so many rumors. Okay, so she's with Nickelodeon, right? And all that was Dan Schneider's first Nickelodeon show. His first show, he sold to Nickelodeon and everything like that. And she came in like, at the end, she was like a new addition, and she was really young. And then she had Amanda's show, which, he was the producer and creator of that show too. And I mean, I just listened to I'm Glad My Mom Died, and just kind of knowing a little bit about the background of Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider's shows. And it's just, and then how he was promising Jeanette a spinoff. And he was like, "You're my favorite," and stuff. How many people did he say that to? Because people are saying that he treated Amanda like, "Oh, you're my favorite," and then she got her own show.
Right.
And she was treated better than some of the people on the shows. And it's like, and she would give him massages, like when she was young.
That's weird. All in it.
A special focused on his asking crew members to massage Schneider on set. And Dan responds in the video with,
"It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation. And even additionally, I apologize to the people who were walking around Video Village or wherever they happened, because there were lots of people there who witnessed it who also may have felt uncomfortable. So I owe them an apology as well." Yeah.
He would go and give people massages. He would give other people massages and stuff. But then he would have the kids give him massages. But it made it seem like she wanted it to be her job. Like, "Oh, I give the best massages." It's really weird.
I don't believe that.
And there is weird rumors about like maybe she got pregnant or they were sleeping together.
And Nickelodeon and her secret Twitter account years ago. Ashley's secret account went by the name of Ashley Banks, and she said she created this account at the time because her parents were controlling everything that she was doing, and she wanted the truth to be heard. She was explaining the truth about a lot of different things, including things that had to do with her, her family, and even other people in Hollywood. She was also crying out for help on this Twitter account and saying that they were stealing her money, and that's why she was placed in this conservatorship. She posted pictures of her ID and pictures of herself to show everybody that this was an original account made by her. And here are some of the things that Amanda Bynes said on this Twitter account. "I've been forced to deny this account again to prevent them from having me committed against my will again. Can you imagine having an abortion at 13 because your boss impregnated you, committed because your father touched you, exposing the truth and then having your freedom threatened?" And honestly, this tweet was probably the most heartbreaking to hear about how she was impregnated when she was 13 by her boss, and who else would have been her boss when she was 13 years old. And I'm not a big person with blind items, but I'm
because at one point she lived with Dan Schneider.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was living with him, and that's weird. It was like
Very
it wasn't
weird
supposed
to
to be
live
like
with
a
your boss,
relationship or
right?
anything like that. No, nothing weird like that. I think he's married, but for some reason, I think maybe because she was in LA or something, or she's filming wherever they film at, and some weird reason like they were living together.
As a parent, I wouldn't agree with that. Like she's a minor and everything. You're not living with no strange man. I don't care if he's your boss and you're around him more times than you're around me. Like, you're not living with a grown man and you're a minor. Like, that's just not happening. Why weren't the parents more concerned? Were they just more concerned about the money that was being brought in?
Yeah,
or the actual well-being of their child?
It's definitely about the money. It's definitely about the money. And they can try to say anything like, "I just want to support my kids' dreams." The people who aren't in it for the money are like the guy who was on, I think he was on All That. And they wanted him to do some weird stuff. And it was a black woman, obviously. And she was like, "Nah, that don't look right." And he told me he felt uncomfortable, and they left. And she was like, "No." She told him like, the son kind of resented his mom because she said, "Oh, you're being a little too overprotective and overbearing, and you're hard to work with, so they don't want me to come back for season 2." And it's like she was just trying to protect her baby. Now that he's older, he understands, But it's like, she was like, this stuff doesn't look right. But everybody else is just okay with it.
I don't know. I don't understand. Is it that serious? Like, I guess I should like go back, rewind when, you know, I was like, had this like obsession with celebrities. But now I don't really care.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, he was in a movie, but I don't add any emotion to that because I know that that person is human and they could be hiding things, or we don't know that true person.
Yeah. Because
we don't know them. They're just actors acting in a movie or a show.
Exactly.
And we have to take that like with a grain of salt because they're playing somebody else. They're portraying somebody else, not themselves. So we can't add emotional attachment to these characters when they could be pure demons.
Yeah. I mean, I just think like celebrities, like, I mean, when I think about celebrities when I was younger, they were just like glorified, like mystic being, like mysterious, like we only got to see them on late night shows.
Right.
Like I couldn't wait, like, oh, I want to see an interview to see this guy because I like him. Like, we didn't get to see them all the time.
Right.
And now we get them on social media because, you know, everyone's like broke. Like, you know, the writer's strike and stuff. I feel like a lot of these celebrities are broke. And so we see them on Instagram. They got podcasts. They got all these things. They're on YouTube shows. They're on Kai Sinet's live streams. Like, we see them all the time now to where it's kind of like desensitized us from actually like looking at them, because we can also see someone we know on social media, but now we can also see you, or we see them a lot more. There's a lot more scandals about them. And then ever since like Me Too and all of that happening, it's like these people that like, I don't know, Kevin Spacey, I wouldn't expect him to do some weird stuff like that.
Me neither.
And now all of a sudden, like, you know, the stuff is blowing up in our face and it's like, I can't trust none of y'all.
None of y'all.
I can't trust nobody. So it's like,
because we don't know these people. It's not like we're sitting down chopping it up with them. Like, we don't know these people. So we're just like assuming things. Yeah. And they could just be horrible and greedy and only want to be rich and just be like spawns from hell. Like, we don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to Amanda though, well, she in like 2010, she basically announced her retirement from acting at 24. And I remember people were saying, why is she retiring? Oh, this is sad. And it's like, at the time, I'm like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Why would she retire? But at the same time, she had been working since she was a kid.
Literally.
Probably made more money than normal people make at retirement age. And she's probably being controlled. I mean, like, her parents probably choose what to act in. And, you know what I mean?
It's just too much.
It's like, at the time, I'm like, oh, no, one of my favorite actresses is like retiring, but it's like
they can do what they want because they're grown.
Yeah, like
she is 24. She was 24 years old. She's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Respect her decision and move on. If she doesn't want to do something, why want her to do that if she doesn't want to do that?
So then in 2012, that's when things started getting a little weird. Because she had a DUI, she was caught with illicit substances, and but she like set a fire. This is kind of like when she was doing some crazy stuff. Like, she was being on Twitter posting like crazy stuff. She was like obsessed with Kid Cudi. She was obsessed with Drake. Like, she was going great. Like, she set a fire. And she went into this like alcohol store. Like, there was all these videos of her going out, and she had these terrible wigs. And she had like gasoline all over the place. Like, she was doing a lot. So her parents filed for a conservatorship in 2013.
It looks like Amanda Bynes may be a schizophrenic. Harvey Levin here. We know that Amanda Bynes' doctors are very concerned right now. She was currently on a 72-hour hold, a psychiatric hold. We found out that they are going to go for another 2 weeks so they can properly evaluate her, but we're told she is showing clear signs of schizophrenia, especially after lighting a fire at a stranger's house with her bizarre conduct. We also know that her parents are going to make a move to create a conservatorship for Amanda because she is unable to care for herself, and frankly, she's a danger to others, especially living in Los Angeles, where she drives. It is very dangerous for Amanda Bynes to drive a car on an LA freeway, given her current mental state. Now, as for her dog, we found out, in fact, we have surveillance video at a gas station where it's clear that she had spilled gasoline on the dog when she was trying to light the fire, and she was trying to wash the dog off at this gas station. The dog is okay. The dog is being cared for right now by Amanda's parents.
Now, in 2014, she accused her father of abuse, and she said that he put a microchip in her brain, or she said like, oh, it didn't happen. She only said that because there was a microchip in her brain. Like, all of that sounds wild. So my question to you is, in this case, do you think they should have done a conservatorship, or what could have been done?
The same thing that I said with Britney. Why are her parents filing for conservatorship in the first place? What's the solution to that? Are you going to take her to get help? If that's not it, she shouldn't be under conservatorship, like, at all. Get her help. Don't try to hide the fact that she has issues, or you're just like, oh, well, it's not that serious. We just want her money. Like, you're not caring about your child at that point. You're just greedy and want to control her and her money. Get her help if you actually care about her.
Yeah. So, in 2018, she basically, she came out and said that she was 4 years sober. And that was good. So then she did try to do like a comeback, but I think it didn't work out. She ended up back in rehab due to stress. And it's like, I don't know, maybe acting really isn't for her. You know? There's something she did when she was young, and she's kind of just over it. And I'm pretty sure she was probably overworked. And she's a naturally funny person. It's just sad to see her, how she was when she was young and just funny, and people said she was just like naturally would just be a funny person to be around, and then now it's like
nobody's there.
Maybe they overdid it. I don't know. But you know, it came out that she was under conservatorship too around like 2020s. Like, I think maybe because of Britney, someone else brought it up. And in 2022, the conservatorship ended after 9 years. Yeah. And the parents went to the court and agreed that she could take care for herself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she was, in the next year, she was placed under a 72-hour psychiatric hold after experiencing a psychotic breakdown. But it wasn't bad enough to be another conservatorship. So right now she's free. And you know, I've seen the videos of her and how she looks. And I've seen her like talk to fans. Like, she's taking pictures with fans and she sounds sweet. But what is going on with her eyebrows?
And the tattoo on her face.
I don't know. She just looks wild, and it's just crazy because she was so beautiful. And it's just, I understand having a style, but it's like it's intentionally done to look bad. Is it just me?
It's not just you. I'm
like,
just
it's a choice. It has to be a choice.
It has to be, because why would you choose that? It has to be because of mental instability. I'm telling you, like, no, she needs actual help.
I don't know.
Actual help.
I don't know. I know that she seems to be minding her business though. And
yeah, she's not really causing a scene or anything like that.
And she seems chill. I hope that, like, she can just stay happy, stay free. If she wants to stay out of the limelight, then that's great. And just live her life without people controlling her or her money. And I mean, I don't know if we can expect to come back because it doesn't seem like that's what she wants to do anymore.
No. And she doesn't have to. We have to respect that because her decisions are valid and everybody has to respect that. You can't just force somebody to do something if they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Let her live. Be private or out in the streets. I don't know what she's doing for real. But I hope she's safe and is happy and gets the help that she needs.
Yeah. That leads us into where we are now with Wendy Williams.
Current day.
She is not under a conservatorship. I believe it's called a guardianship. Sounds the exact same. Basically, something happened. Okay, so we all know Wendy Williams. She radio show like Queen, ultimate shit talker on the radio and TV. She was doing fine. I mean, up until a few years ago, and she got into a divorce. Like, she's always had some issues with her husband, and he's cheated on her, but he actually got a girl pregnant, had a baby on her.
Dang.
And she said all the other stuff, I knew he was cheating on me. People knew that he was cheating on her. She didn't really care, but she couldn't do a baby. And she said herself.
That went too far.
So, so she went ahead and they got divorced. There's clips of her saying like, no, he's still my child's father. We're going to go to the graduation together. We're fine. You know, we're fine. We're able to co-parent. They're able to just like, she's still like, that was her best friend for years. He helped her out in her career. She's not like, she doesn't hate him, but it kind of did tear her apart because people said like, he actually helped control a lot of her stuff. Like, he was managing a lot of stuff for her. Like, he was helping her out. Like, he was, you know, helping her run her life.
He's being supportive.
And
I guess
after getting divorced, it was like she kind of lost herself. And I think she always kind of did drugs, but I think she started doing a lot of drugs. But in 2022, a court appointed guardian was assigned to her to oversee her personal and financial affairs after Wells Fargo. They raised concerns about her well-being and finances. Now, excuse me. Why is the bank worried about what she does with her money?
Are they worried about that for everybody else?
It was really weird because like they went through her transactions or something and was basically saying she needs to have a guardian.
That doesn't make sense.
Take over her money.
Because they can say that with literally any American.
Yeah.
And have guardianship, that would be too expensive.
Yeah, and it makes no sense. So the woman, the guardian, her name is Sabrina Morrissey, and it's just kind of weird because it's like, who is this woman? Who is she to Wendy?
Your guardian being a thing is insane. It is. It is objectively wild if you look into somebody and that is how they make their money, by controlling other people's money. It's very interesting because she is in no relation, obviously, to Wendy Williams. She was a random woman appointed by the judge, and she is in no relation to the other 22 people which the judge assigned her to be their guardian. Even though some of these people, including Wendy Williams, have family that have spoken up for the past 3 years and have said if she needs anybody to help her, they are more than willing to help.
Like, who is she? Like, it's weird. Because at first it was like maybe the family could have been involved, but they completely shut them out. And they have family. The family they don't live, in New York or whatever with Wendy. I think they live in Florida. So it's like, I don't know, it's weird. So she was diagnosed with frontal temporal dementia and aphasia. And she also has Graves' disease and lymphedema. And her son, he says she was diagnosed with alcohol-induced dementia. So it's like, so is it frontal dementia or is it alcohol-induced dementia? I don't know. They were saying, I think she's had trouble with alcohol. She's had history. I think she spoke about it. And at one point she was in rehab. and she was in like a sober living house with like young people. But she said it was good for her because she was getting like therapy and living her life and being cool. But then she was put under this weird guardianship.
Are one and the same. This has been going on for 3 years. So we're going to take it back to 2022. All right. So this is an article from Variety from February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2022. In an affidavit filed with the New York Supreme Court, Williams states, for more than 2 weeks, Wells Fargo has repeatedly denied my request to access my financial assets, which total over several $1 million. The estimation was Wendy Williams had actually about $50 million in her account. I have submitted multiple written requests to Wells Fargo, and I have visited various Wells Fargo branches in the South Florida area in an effort to resolve this matter outside of the courtroom. To date, I have submitted and made over a dozen requests regarding the financial damages resulting from Wells Fargo's decision to unlawfully deny me access to my accounts. As a result of my inability to access my financial assets, I have defaulted and I am at risk of defaulting on several billing and financial obligations, including but not limited to mortgage payments and employee payroll. Now, it should be noted that before this happened, Wendy Williams had a financial advisor from Wells Fargo who she did not trust, and she came to the conclusion that the financial advisor was doing something funny, and she fired the financial advisor. It was also publicly noted during this time that unfortunately Wendy's trifling ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, went on a spree of being the most trifling person he decided he could be. He had a child with somebody else whom he was not married to. He bought his now wife, who was his extramarital partner at the time. He bought her a house in their same neighborhood for said child with Wendy's money. He did all of these awful things. Wendy also, unfortunately, at this time, her mother had passed away. She was going through a lot. She has always been very transparent, as well as her son, Kevin Jr., that she was suffering through and from alcoholism, to which she willingly checked herself into rehab to get help for that. However, what Wells Fargo decided to do was unprecedented and is still unprecedented at the time, which these are old articles. Again, this is from March 25th, 2022. An attorney representing Wells Fargo requested the company's petition be filed under seal. So what they did is Wells Fargo then filed a petition for guardianship for Wendy Williams. Now, it should be noted in the original video that I did on Wendy Williams guardianship and financial abuse, which is the title of that video, about 1.5 years ago, Wells Fargo took it upon themselves after following, in my opinion, the news headlines of Wendy going through all this turbulence. They then went to the court as an entity and as a corporation and stated that Wendy Williams was unwell, that they felt that maybe she was suffering from financial abuse, which was ironic since she accused her own financial manager from Wells Fargo of potential fraud and financial abuse. And they then petitioned to the court. If you currently were to try to look up this case, you cannot find these legal documents in the court on the court website for New York State Supreme because it has all been sealed. If you are interested in seeing the original court documents, Emily D. Baker did do a video about almost 3 years ago, 3 years ago, in 2022, where she has those court documents and she goes through the court documents of the original petition.
And it's weird because in that documentary they had last year, I didn't want to watch it. I didn't watch it because she just looked crazy. And that's not something she would have wanted to release.
Right.
And I don't think that's fair to have someone looking crazy and then releasing that. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, without her consent. Like, you can't just basically exploit somebody without them knowing it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, she's in this guardianship, so we can do whatever we want. That's wrong.
Yeah.
And I feel like if she could maybe sue, because how you gonna betray her in a certain way when she's not that way?
Yeah, and she can't sue because she can't use her money to buy lawyers.
That's crazy.
That is really wild.
I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get how that could be legal.
It doesn't seem legal at all, but like that's what's happening now. And it's just weird because in the documentary, they showed that she was struggling with alcohol abuse after her ex-husband's infidelity. Okay, that's true. But the Guardian tried to block it, and it was saying that it exploited her. But guess what? Wendy only received $82,000 for the film that was released without valid consent. $82,000. That's not a lot of money
at all. Not for
to make me look crazy.
To make me look crazy, I need like millions of dollars.
That's crazy.
Do that. And then additionally, I need access to my own money. Yeah. If you're gonna use me, like you can't.
And she can't even use the $82,000 anyways.
Somebody else is using it.
But what's wild is that,
allegedly.
So I remember there was a post that said she was incapacitated. And I was like, so incapacitated, what do you think that means?
Like she's not capable to do anything.
Like she's like a vegetable, right?
Yeah.
Or she's laying there, she can't move, she can't talk. Or maybe she can move, but she can't talk. She's in a wheelchair.
Like she's like gone.
She's just gone. And it's just like, oh, that's really sad that happened to her. She doesn't have much time left. But recently, she went on The Breakfast Club. Well, I mean, she called in. The Breakfast Club, even Don Lemon spoke about it because he's friends with her. And her and Charlamagne the God, they had a radio show together in New York. So they've been friends for years.
Right.
And he called her, he got a hold of her, well, she called him. Because apparently she's not able to make, or people aren't able to call her, but she can call out.
Yeah. And
she says that. And I will say in the interview, you know, she stutters a little bit and she kind of repeats her words and she doesn't sound 100%, but she doesn't sound incapacitated.
No. She
can speak.
Yeah, she can speak and she can understand what people are saying to her.
And she's saying like, I want to go and do this. She said it's a room. She's basically staying in a room, like in a facility. She says where there's senior people who are older than her. They could be her age, but they're worse off than her.
The conservatee is not able to make decisions for themselves. Wendy can make her own decisions. She is not cognitively impaired. She is not incapacitated. She is being taken advantage of.
Right.
Wendy, tell us what's going on.
Well, first of all, to start with, my niece Alex knows a lot as well, you know, but I am not cognitively impaired, you know what I'm saying? No, but I feel like I am in prison. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like I'm in New York City, right? And by the way, my apartment has been sold, thank God, you know, a while ago. But I, you know, I'm in this place where the people are in their 90s and their 80s and their 70s, and even when people are 60 like me, hey, I'm sexy and gorgeous. You know, I am 60. Look, please, July 18th, 1964, honey. But look, these people, I don't care if they're 50 and 60. They have, like, look, there's something wrong with these people here on this floor. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'm not saying something bad. I'm just saying that I am with these people. I am clearly not, look, I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner right here on the bed. All right. I watch TV. I listen to radio. I look at the window. I talk on the phone. And by the way, Alex, talk about this phone, please. Alex, you've been right here where I am, so you know exactly what you're talking about. You flew from Miami to New York, and you were right here with me. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you know what she's saying is exactly what's happened. She's there in New York, in this place, essentially like what some would call a luxury prison, right? This is her room. That's literally her apartment. But the thing about this apartment, and you know this, not Wendy, because you're there. It's small. She has a bed, a chair, a TV, a bathroom, and she's looking out one window. The buildings across the street. That's her life.
Excuse me, and excuse me, through my money, you know, I had this person buy the TV, you know, the kind of TV I like, a large TV, you understand what I'm saying? Through this person, because all of my stuff is in storage, you understand what I'm saying? Everything's in storage, and by the way, that was to sell my apartment, but anyway.
Is the person your guardian? Is that who you're referring to, your guardian?
Yes.
Well, you know, Sabrina Morrissey is her name, and right now A&E Network, A&E Network and Lifetime were sued by Sabrina. She claims they exploited you in a vulnerable state. They exploited your condition, and I'm putting condition in air quotes.
I mean, it just seems crazy that they just have her in this facility. It seems as though they're not giving her any help. If she has like dementia and stuff like that, those people, they can still do stuff. They can still go see their family. Like, I'm not understanding why, if she has family, if she has money, why is she in this like facility where she only has a bed in a room and she can look out the window? Like, why is she not in a like fancy one put up somewhere nice that looks like a resort? They have those.
They do
So
have
why,
those.
if they're using her money, why aren't they doing what she wants to do with her money? And she's not telling them to go buy something crazy. So I'm just not understanding why they need to have control over her finances. I can see if she was just throwing money off a bridge or doing something crazy like that. It's just like, I'm not understanding, because on the podcast, on the interview with Charlamagne, she said she can't even go see her father celebrate his 90th birthday.
How old is she, by the way?
You gotta look it up on your phone.
Let's see how old she is.
Because, 90 is a...
60. She'll be 61 this year.
Yeah. So she can even go see her family. It's just...
That's weird.
It's not right. It's not right. I don't like what they're doing. And I think we should start a free Wendy movement just as much as we did free Britney. She should be allowed, her family should be allowed to take care of her, help her out, or at least put her in a facility where they're helping her out. Like, what are they doing to help out her memory? Or, I don't know. It's just sad that even if she is going to decline, her health is declining, I don't want her end of time is feeling like she's trapped, you know?
Yeah, nobody deserves that at all.
Yeah.
They should free her. Like, she worked hard in her career.
So hard.
And for you to take that all away and just restrict her to one room is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so people aren't free.
She said she wanted to go shopping and go to Sephora and get some makeup. She can't even do that.
Can't even do that. Like, that sounds weird. Like, there's no other way to spend it.
If you're controlling my money, then why can't I spend it the way that I want it? I worked hard to make this money,
right?
And now when I turn 60, someone else gets to control it.
That's weird.
Have you seen that movie I Care a Lot?
Yes. We watched it.
Yeah.
Actually.
We watched it together?
Yeah.
Watched it? Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember why. Okay, so that movie was crazy. They basically are like trying to make that woman look crazy so she can control her estate.
And get her money.
Even though this woman was not crazy. She was just old, but
And they did that to not only her, but several other
people.
Elderly people. And it's just like, I wonder how many elderly people, not even elderly anymore, their money is being controlled, and they don't have severe mental issues, and they're capable of living on their own and managing their own money. I wonder how many there are.
I feel like Hollywood does this thing where I feel like things are open secrets, and they're putting stuff out there that's happening. And with I Care a Lot, I feel like that's happening, and that's Hollywood showing us this is happening.
Right.
Just like how I think like Blink Twice. I feel like that was kind of a whole, this happens in our face, you know. It might not happen exactly like it, but that's kind of a this happens type thing. I don't know. That's what I feel, and I feel like that movie I Care a Lot. A lot of the stuff that's kind of what it's giving with Wendy Williams. I mean, she has money. It's being controlled by someone for whatever reason, and she's not allowed to spend her money, control her money, choose what she wants to do, speak to who she wants to speak to. She had to basically sneak phone call interviews because that wouldn't have been allowed.
Right.
So Charlamagne had to call her and record the call on a 3-way call with her niece.
That's crazy.
So I don't know. I think it's time to free Wendy.
Yeah, free Wendy.
Just be thinking about more, be aware of these conservatorships, because it is happening to a lot of different people, not just celebrities, and we should just be aware of that and just watch out for your elderly family members, and make sure they're not getting taken advantage of, because this can happen.
I am still accused of having a frontal temporal dementia, and they are accusing me of being incapacitated, which I am clearly not. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I do have to say that that evaluation of me for what? You've already accused me. So
right. Well, let me ask you, and not to start off with quote unquote business, but Wendy, how are you doing? How was your father's birthday? How was that trip? How was that for you? And getting out and being able to shop and seeing your family, how was that?
Oh, well, the birthday was great. You know what I'm saying? Me and my dad, we had a great time, and you know, my sister and my brother, you know, my niece, we all had a really great time. My son was a part of it too. You know, while I was in Miami, I also did some shopping in Miami because my guardian person told me that I would not be going to storage. So, you know, everything is in storage here in New York. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I have to see the judge. I have to meet my attorneys. I have to do this and that here in New York. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I need, you know, the clothing. So I did some clothing shopping while I was in Miami. Which, by the way, my guardian person gave the credit card to my attorney, who I fired, but back in New York. In the meantime, the credit card with my money, it wasn't my credit card anyway, they denied me doing some of the shopping in Miami. And I had look, the point is that this is the freaking life that I'm still in. You understand?
Mm-hmm. So they put a limit on you and only allowed you to buy certain things, and when you tried, they stopped it.
Excuse me? Who's who to tell me what I can buy and what I can't buy? I mean, like, that's my money, correct? Oh, I forgot. My money is being used for other people to get attorneys.
What you mean, other
Not
people?
me,
Like who? Like, is it Sabrina, your guardian? Like who?
Oh, yeah.
Sabrina Morrissey?
Yeah, well, what I understand is that there are 4 attorneys going on so far, you know, using my money and not attorneys for me. Yes.
Wow. You know,
Gina?
You know, Sabrina Morrissey put out a statement and said that she said she insists that you don't know that you have dementia. She made those allegations in court documents related to the lawsuit against Lifetime.
Okay. Well, you know what? The guardian person has issues of her own.
Has she been retaliating against you since you've been, you know, very vocal about what's been going on?
In an elegant way, of course.
Okay. Wow.
Well, that is all for this episode of Conservatorship. Tune in next time as we dive deep into the Appalachian Mountains. Until then, stay weird, y'all.